this debunker is telling you that that guy is 100% ruining your investigations by faking. Beardos, weirdos, balls and girls, how you all doing? I know, you're like, hey, where's the studio? Why are you just sat in the middle? I have a question. And I've had to put on my smart goggles just to see if I'm seeing what I'm seeing properly. Yes. I don't know who this is. This is Elton. I don't know who this lady is. This guy works with the Paranormal Files, but he's normally got a moustache. And this is Colin from the Paranormal Files. Why do 4 of these 5 people think they're about to get stabbed by a ghost? Beardos, weirdos, bots and ghouls, how are we all doing? Yes, I am mocking, but I don't think these are actually tactical vests. What I think they are is like fisherman vests or camera operator vests. But let's be honest here. None of these guys are using a great deal of camera equipment as such. I mean, this dude's got what looks like a two-way radio. They've got all of these pouches and pockets, and it kind of looks like a tactical vest. I think it is more for, you know, like professional cameramen maybe. Different lenses, different bits of equipment and cables and all the rest of it. But most of these guys use Sony AX53s, and they only use one of them, or they'll use a DSLR camera. I don't understand why they've gone to this investigation in fancy dress. The other reason I'm looking at this is a viewer has emailed me, a fan of Overnight, and they're like, hey, check out this footage because Colin from the Paranormal Files is faking. Ooh, I've had quite good interactions with Colin, but I'm not going to not debunk him because he's been cool with me. It's not Colin that's faking. Now, the bit of the video I'm about to show you, it involves table tipping. Table tipping. One of the oldest tricks in the book, one of the, you know, the Fox sisters and all of that 1800s nonsense. Now, I have witnessed table tipping firsthand, and it was years and years and years ago, and I saw this action. Wow, this table is moving, and people are so lightly touching it, and then you look around, and then you see somebody's thumb hook, and it's just one little push, and then they leave go. And because everybody's arms move, the table starts rocking. I have seen video footage of tables walking themselves around haunted locations. And when you look at it, look at the hands, somebody is always hooking their thumbs. Every now and again, because once the motion starts, it's easy for everybody else just to go with the movement, not realising they are in fact rocking the table. But somebody is always hooking that thumb or using the palm of their hand there, the palm of the back of their wrist there, or people are aware that you can call fakery by people doing this, because you can just flex your fingers a little. So people have started doing this. They put their hands backwards on the table. The issue there is, you've got knuckles there. You can push with those knuckles. You've got the back of your hand there. You can push with that. You've got your wrist joint. You can push with that. And what I found in this video is the most blatant fakery, the most blatant table tipping of a human being pushing the table that I've seen in a long, long time. And the other reason I wanted to cover this video is I have been to the Ancient Ram Inn. I have investigated the Ancient Ram Inn, and my investigation from the Ancient Ram Inn undid a lot of footage that I've seen out there. Oh, I'm hearing voices. Did you hear that? It sounds like a child's voice. Yeah, it's kids outside. Because when this place is hired out, there is a notice as soon as you walk in that says, once you start investigating, please turn off the lights, because the local kids will play up, or something along those lines. And I have seen various teams go there, clearly capture the kids messing about outside and the voices from outside, and completely ignore it. There are gaps in the windows in the certain rooms upstairs. A lot of people get things wrong with this house. They will say we're going up to the 2nd floor. Now, in the UK, we don't... In the UK, we use ground floor, 1st floor. So the 2nd floor in the States is the 1st floor in the UK. And there's a bit of issue with that at times, but we are going upstairs. The sound shouldn't travel up here. What they are omitting from that is that if you look out of the windows of the rooms upstairs, you're street level. The ground floor of that building is under street level, and then the bedrooms look out onto the pavement. And because the place is so famous, and because it's, you know, really well known, the locals play up when they see the lights on. Now, you can turn all the lights off as soon as you go in there, but they know. They know. Because there's cars in the car park. Because they will see torchlights swinging about and all the rest of it. Kids play up. That's not what this is about. Also, I didn't notice it, but I was like, I'm getting really high EMF here. And then I put it into the ceiling. I'm like, Jesus, it's maxing out. Why is that? And then Dead Cold Paranormal was like, look at your drone footage from outside. Ah, shit. Phone lines, communication lines. They dip into the point where they're almost touching the roof. So any EMF readings in this place, discount them immediately because of those cables. I didn't notice it, so that's not, you know, if these guys are using K2s and getting spikes, maybe they didn't know. That's fair enough. But this table tipping bollocks. So we have the 4K premium enhanced bitrate, so we can see the tomfoolery for ourselves. Okay, so they focus in on the EMF activity. Maybe they didn't realise, but yeah, there's communication cables borderline touching the roof. That's why you're getting random spikes in this place, and it's a shame. They also get the name John come through in an app, and nobody reacts to it. That is the one time you should have reacted to it, because John Humphreys was the owner of this place. Now, we look at the title. Overnight in the haunted ancient Ram Inn, England's most demonic house, with paranormal files. What's the little asterisk next to this house bit for? Let's check, shall we? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's not there for any reason. I don't understand that. This gentleman here, that's Colin. I don't know who the guy next to him is. That's Elton. That's a rocking chair on the table to show the movement. I don't know who this young lady is. And this guy I have seen out with Colin from the Paranormal Files before. The guy that gets scratched and shit a lot. I don't trust him. And after this, I know why I don't trust him. Look at the hand positions. They've got them this way up. Palm facing up. But if we watch this guy's left arm, you will see his muscle flex like this. Because he's pushing the table. You see his hand slip because he is pushing that table. So we'll show that, and then I will discuss with you, and hopefully Colin and Elton will see this and say, right, that is an issue. This guy's got to go. Yes, that's harsh, but the guy is blatantly faking. And what he has done by blatantly faking is overturned your entire investigation. No ifs, buts, or maybes. You catch somebody faking one thing, everything is off the table while that person is present in the building. This guy, yeah, used to have a slick daddy on his lip. This guy is faking. Watch. Little arm movements, little flex there. He has a tattoo on his wrist. And you see that the tattoo pulses. That's him flexing. That's him pushing the table. That's his muscle activating to push that table. Blatant fakery. Look at his arm. His left arm with the tattoos. Look. He is pushing. That's not his arm moving with the table. Nobody else's arm is giving jerky movements. Just his left arm. Because I imagine he thinks it's not in view of the camera. This is as blatant as I've seen. Now, whoever edits for Elton, because this is on the overnight channel, should have picked this up. And if they haven't, they're turning a blind eye, which means they're supporting fakery. Maybe they didn't. But look at it. Look at those movements in his arm. Even she is giving him the side eye. So I've rewound it back. Let's go. There's a flex of the muscle, flex of the muscle, blatant push, blatant push. Blatant push. He is pushing that table. Look at his... Now, all throughout this table tipping bollocks, because that's exactly what it is, this guy is pushing it. All throughout this, he is looking at Colin and he is doing this. And Colin is looking back at him like... The fuck are you smiling at? Now, I don't know if they're all in on this. I can't say that they're all in on this because it is the actions of one man that we are seeing. Look how blatant his arm movement is there. It's moving just before the table. You can't because you'll see his hand move. But watch now. That is... Nobody else's arms are giving it all this. He is blatantly pushing that table. Therefore, he is blatantly faking. Therefore, he has absolutely trashed your entire investigation for both channels. Whoever brought this guy along needs to take him to one side and say the following. You've been caught faking. The debunkers have caught you faking. A fan of Elton has caught you faking. Get out. You won't be coming on a paranormal investigation with me again because you have ruined my reputation. You have ruined Elton's reputation as more ruined as they can be in the debunker community. Now, obviously, I have seen Elton faking shit every time I've looked. Colin, it seems to be more of a belief issue with Colin. I've had adult conversations with Colin, and Colin, if you see this, I ain't coming at you. I'm coming at the guy sat directly opposite you, looking into your eyes, whilst he is knowingly pushing that table, making you and everyone else in that room look stupid. You can't deny what I'm seeing here. His hand slips there. He is pushing that table, and he's laughing. He's not laughing because that table pushed. His hand has just slipped. And looking at everybody else, they are barely moving. They're just sort of going with the table, but there's barely any movement. The table is almost sliding under their hands, the way it should be done. This guy's left arm is doing all of the movement there. Look how blatantly obvious this is. I was just looking at the feet to make sure nobody else is in on it. Now, I thought when the subtitles were on, Colin's feet are actually on that table leg, which would undo the point of table tipping to a degree. But I don't think it is. I think it's just the way it looked right there. There's 4 other people on that table that it doesn't look like to me are in the know or are pushing. Whoever edited this should have seen that. Look at these... Even his shoulder, he's trying to get this table to move a bit more. Even his shoulders were starting to go then. His right arm gave it a little bit of welly. He may as well be wearing a t-shirt that says, I stage paranormal activity for Colin. And Elton. And everyone else in this room. Now, some people believe that you guys are reputable paranormal investigators. That is up to them entirely. I am not having a go at any of those people. What I'm having a go at is this guy is clearly pushing that table. I don't know why this wasn't picked up in editing. It's blatant faking. Me as a debunker and me as a skeptic will completely write that investigation off because there is a person of the 5 of you that cannot be trusted. He's faking. Blatantly. You see the arm muscle twitching, you see his arm rocking, you see his hand slip. That is as blatant fakery as I have seen on people table tipping. The only thing he hasn't done is hooked his thumb to do it. I would like to think Colin was unaware of what he was doing, but they're not in night vision. They've got a red light they can see. So does this mean that I have caught the paranormal files on overnight faking? Well, to a degree, it depends on who edited this video. If Elton edited this video, he should have noticed that this guy was pushing that table. If somebody else has edited the video and they don't know what they're looking for, I can kind of forgive it. I'll probably not get a response from Elton. I don't particularly care. But Colin, if this guy is somebody that you want to take out with you and you want to be taken seriously as an investigator, because the conversations I've had with you, you want to be taken seriously as an investigator, and you've taken on board certain things that debunkers have said. Well, this debunker is telling you that that guy is 100% ruining your investigations by faking. And, added to that, if you then don't deal with this guy, as in, pull him to one side and say, what the fuck is this? I've got Beardo looking at us while we're out with one of the bigger paranormal channels on the platform. And there's your arm, blatantly pushing a table. I've got to deal with this. Now, for me, if I go to a haunted location and somebody says, I want to do this method, and I don't believe in it, That's absolutely fine. I will still do that method in order to say, I've done this method and I think it's rubbish because of XYZ. Let's look at it this way. When you take somebody on an investigation with you, you are putting trust into them. You are trusting them to be honest. You are trusting them not to ruin your video. And you are trusting them to behave in a way that isn't going to highlight any negativity to you. Say the Ouija brothers said to me, hey, we've booked this location. Do you and a friend want to come? And we can get a video out on each channel, etc. Cool, I'm up for that. And then in editing, Steve says, you need to have a look at this. This is your friend. We'll call him Jim Bob. This is your friend Jim Bob. Watch his left arm. And I see that. It's going to be, oh my god. Really? So the conversation with my friend that I took with me to investigate, to trust with my channel, to trust with my reputation, the conversation would be, you've been caught. You You're no longer welcome in my channel. You are no welcome on my investigations. I want nothing to do with you. You have ruined my reputation. And the only way for me to salvage said reputation is to cut ties with you completely. But that's me. It'll depend on how Colin deals with this and how Colin takes this. Maybe he'll look at it and go, nah, he's not faking. If that's the case, then I will say the following as a matter of fact. Colin, that guy is faking. And if you're willing to put up with that, there's no niceties left. There's no respect left. That guy's blatantly faking. He's ruined this for you and for overnight. It's bullshit. I would be livid. Absolutely livid. I would have been livid at the time. And if I didn't notice it there, in editing, I'd have been like, you motherfucker. And then I would have kept it in the video. I would have been like, this next section, table tipping. And there would be text across the bottom. Watch whoever's left arm. At this point, he is clearly pushing the table. I have severed ties with this person. And then after the investigation, there would probably be a follow-up video. He saw the text in that video, but unfortunately, a member of my team, somebody that I trusted, has been caught faking. They are no longer anything to do with this channel. They will never ever investigate with me again. I would probably even ban them from commenting on the channel because I would want a complete break from them. Get away from me, get away from my content. I want to be taken seriously as an investigator. I can have no part in your bullshit. So I don't know how Colin is going to react. I'm not telling Colin how he is going to react, but my reaction, and just about everyone else that I work with's reaction to that would be, fire him. He would be gone from any team that I support, 100% without a shadow of a doubt. And it's because of this guy's performance that I haven't looked at the rest of the video. I don't need to, because I know there is bullshit going on. There is fakery going on. This is damaging to Overnight. And listen, I know what I think of Overnight. I've seen a lot of bullshit coming from Overnight. I've had my issues with Colin. Me and Colin have spoken as adults. Absolutely fine. It's how he deals with this now, because he's aware of me, he's aware of my content, he's aware of my channel. I don't think there is a way that Colin can look at this and say, nah, he wasn't pushing that. No way. He was. That is so blatant. Watch his arm compared to everyone else's movements. He's pushing that table. He's faking. This may undo some of this damage. Important Elton Note Edition. It's 4 AM for me and I've just got home from Catacombs. So now seeing everyone's comments on the video, because as I say, I read my comments. With that being said, first and foremost, I do not fake anything. I have zero reason to. I do not care to. I do this because it's fun. I like pushing bounds and trying new things. Table tipping was new to me. And hopefully each night we capture super awesome evidence on camera. It's a bit hopeful. I've never caught fuck all on camera, really. I've literally done 100+ hours of live streamed investigations and investigated over 1,000 subscribers across the overnight tour, charity events, contests, etc. So pretty please don't attack my character or the integrity of this channel when all I've done is try to be brutally honest and transparent at all times. I guess feel free to attack my character if it's about me being brutally honest. Secondly, here's that brutal honesty. I've never done table tipping before. I kind of watched a sort of... I think I kind of sort of watched it in an Australian ghost hunt video 5 years ago. And this was a new thing to try. The rocking chair on top of the idea was on top of the table was the idea of the ancient Ram Inn, who I met early in the night when I showed up while Colin and Connor were filming their video. That's how that unfolded. Anyways, it seemed cool to try, sure, why not? It's essentially the same principle as a Ouija board. Energy channeled into you, which moves a planchette, which moves the letters, numbers, yes, no. Same principle. Everyone connects and channels energy via a table, and then in theory, the table tips. If Ouija boards are Tony Stark of intelligent channeling, table tipping is the Hulk smashing version. What? In the interest of trying new things, alas, table tipping. When it started working, that was neat and a cool experience. Then I opted to add the K2 and the Panasonic, etc. What Panasonic? Meat and potatoes of the negative comments. Don't fake anything. Hence a few pretty boring paranormal investigations over the years, and a lot of Patreon only uploads due to no activity. That's a good thing. This means also when it comes to editing, sometimes based on my travel schedule, I let our editor have full control over the edit and do what he wants. He's been working with me for 1.5 years now, so I trust him entirely. This was one of those videos. Somebody's just got fired. 2. I've just watched the footage of the table tipping stuff, and 100% I can understand everyone's perspective who is skeptical. Oh, come on, please don't defend this idiot. Especially given that both camera guys are on the same side of the room, and that's the only angle everyone is seeing. I was also opposite side of the table from them, so it was literally my first time seeing all of that too, and keeping your comments, opinions in mind, and knowing that you're only focusing on 2 people, but most importantly, the entire point of the table is to let your body, power, and energy be channeled from the spirit realm. Yeah, but that's not what's going on here. The guy is pushing before the table moves. Again, precisely what the Ouija board is, planchette... Right, fuck that. Are you going to say that this guy has been caught? Incredibly heavy... Now, this is the same thing, but, you know, an incredibly heavy wood table, the power of 5 adults, 2 hands on each versus planchette. That table's not that heavy. That table is not that heavy, and it's rickety. I know, I've used it. Table tipping, freely energy object, only 2 of the 5 people at the focal point of the camera again. Again, I've never done this before, nor have I watched any videos of anyone doing it. I intentionally do not watch paranormal videos, and my guess would be that every table tipping thing ever, when it works, all participants' arms must be moving with the force of the table. That's just like the basic law of physics. Yes, but the other 4 people on that table were not having the same movements. He was pushing it, blatantly. His left arm going, muscle flexing. He's pushing it. K2 spiking, that's not a ghost, but you weren't to know. That's the cables borderline touching the roof. That's my perspective on all this. I literally could not give an F less to fake a rocking chair move. You didn't fake. That guy with you did. Dude on the left looks like he's moving the table when you're using the rocking chair. Yeah, they've been called out for this. Rightly called out for this by their own audience. I mean, an overnight fan emailed me. Right, so Elton has seen what people are commenting about. He has commented about what people are commenting about, and he's saying, nah, it's just physics. No, the physics of that is that man's arm is moving before the table. He is blatantly pushing it. There's your physics. He is physically manipulating that table. He is physically faking. I don't know how you can turn a blind eye to this, and this is why I don't enjoy the overnight channel, no matter who's part of it or not part of it. I don't understand why you would stand for that guy. If you want to be taken seriously, then that needs to be dealt with properly. Colin, I don't know how you're going to deal with this. I don't know what your thoughts are on this. But this guy faked that. This is also the guy that gets scratched quite often. You're working with a faker. He keeps getting caught out, pulling shenanigans and bullshit in your videos. And if you don't address that or remove him from your team and publicly say, I will no longer be working with him again because he keeps getting caught doing dodgy shit, then you're as guilty as him. This is one of those rare occurrences where guilty by association actually comes into play because people are turning a blind eye to this guy blatantly faking. He has ruined that investigation for everyone involved. He has damaged all of your reputations. Overnight fans are calling this out. Fair play to Elton from Overnight. He hasn't removed the comments. That is being transparent. That is something I can get on board with. I haven't seen Colin comment. I haven't looked for Colin's comments. I don't want to. But I'm going to be interested to see what the reaction is to a debunker actually covering this. This video is not supposed to be going out until Thursday next week. So I'm probably going to swap it out for the Monday. Because this needs to be dealt with pretty sharp. People need to understand that there is somebody working with the Paranormal Files and Overnight that is clearly faking, and we need to see what the outcome of that is. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section down below. No hate or none of the rest of it. And one final thing, I inserted some clips for comedy the other day of a lady saying, do not come, and then Donald Trump saying, I'm coming, people cheering. I found it funny. Apparently that was linked to some sort of atrocity. So, it wasn't done on purpose. I just took what was funny clips of the word coming because I'm a child, put in a video. I didn't mean to be insensitive. A few people have said, hey, I didn't like that. I apologise. Anyway, much love to you all. Beardo out.